Hi everyone, it's Janine from the Little Nun's Room on my outside broadcasts tourist in my town feature. So how are you doing? I hope you're well. It's a little bit nippy today, a little bit nippy. I've got all my summer clothes on my little mini break, but none of my winter ones. Anyway, I'm here in a very, well, there's a Waterloo, but there's loads of building going on in London at the moment, really amazingly. So this doesn't look particularly glamorous location. Like, Janine, what are you doing there? Well, because I'm a historian and an actor, so this is actually where the original Globe was built. So in 1599, Richard and Cuthbert Burbage, with William Shakespeare, decided to move from Curtain Lane in Shoreditch, which is where it was called the theatre. They took plank by plank down and brought it over this side of the river. So from the north side of the river, in Shoreditch or Hoxton, which I know really well as well, I love Curtain Road, to this side of the river, the south side of the river, and they rebuilt the Globe here. And not only that, at the same time, or just before, the Rose Theatre was built, which is along here, and we're going to go on a little walk in a minute and just show you where that is. So these locations are not particularly, like, there's nothing here. You've got to use your imagination, but then you can actually then walk to the Southbank, which is like one street away, and you can see the actual Sam Wanamaker Globe Theatre that has been recreated and in honour of the Globe. And so let's just go and have a look at the roads. So anyway, so as I say, it's a back street from the Southbank, and there's lots of building going along here. We're in Southwark. For those of you interested, bear with me, because I usually have the wow factor of things that you can actually look at, but it's about concept, so I'm kind of working through this as I'm talking to you. So Globe, just back there, how long have I walked? Probably like 50 footsteps. And then over this side we have the Rose Theatre. This is where the Rose Theatre was. So over there we had the Globe, here is the Rose. And what was interesting about that time, so let's just choose 1599, so a couple of years before Queen Elizabeth died. She was a massive theatre fan. I mean, she was a patron of Shakespeare as well, being part of the King's Men, although it should have been maybe the Queen's Men. This area of London on the South Bank now is like glorious. As I say, there's all building works, it's really gorgeous, lots of restaurants, and that only changed in the 60s, 1960s. But before, and even now, in London, the north side of the river, people say they prefer it. It's like the posher place, and the south side of the river is a bit more gritty and grimy. It's still in our culture. This is still, people think this, and the reason is that the south side of the river, or one of the reasons is the south side of the river during this time, during 1599, was actually like, you just didn't go there. It was like proper dodgy. Here we are in Bear Alley, if you can just see there. Sorry, Bear Gardens. So what you would do is you would live on the north side, but you come to the south side for all your fun and fancifulness. So you'd be rowed across the river by some wherryman who is literally taking your life in your hands with the ebb and flow of the Thames. We know how that can be just so full on. That's why no one swims in it. So, okay, I'm standing still now. So you would come over this side of the river to have your fun. And I mean, you would have bear baiting that you would go to. That would be for fun. The theatres, you know, plague and pestilence. I mean, you're there with the nitty gritty of the people, the hoi polloi people. That's what you're there for. And then also the actors were seen as that kind of feel too, and I still think the vagabonds, like moving place to place, which is kind of, to be honest, I do have that in my blood. My great granddad was a music hall performer, lived in Balham, you know, owned his own like greengrocer's shop, but he was a music hall performer. So there's always that kind of connotation associated with the south side of the river, and part of the reason is because this area was, like I said, you know, the fun and fulfillment place. So I find that really fascinating. So I've not really got anything gorgeous to show you, but it's a concept. But I do, if you're really in theatre, you can feel it. You can feel it here. And then if you go to the Globe when it's open, it's not at the moment, very sadly, even though there's open air performances, you can spend £5 and be a groundling, which means just like back in Shakespeare's times, you would stand up in front of the stage, and it's kind of the place where I'm sure they would have thrown rotten tomatoes at the actors if they weren't any good. I always think that you're kind of dodging kind of, I was going to say beer bottles and things like that, but that's true. That's pretty much what an actor's life was. If you didn't perform, you didn't do your thing, then you were up for scrutiny. You're there with the revellers, but the feeling you get when you stand in the pit today as a groundling, it's just the best thing ever. I absolutely love it, and obviously missing it like terribly this summer. And the fact I'm here, if it had been on, I would have gone and seen performance one of the nights. They did midnight performances last year. I went on the 21st of summer solstice to see a midnight performance last year. It was just awesome with a couple of friends. So anyway, that's it from me. I haven't really got anything to show you, but if you're into Shakespeare, if you're into the idea of the Southbank, the old Southbank, then this is your place to come. If you just come one street behind the Southbank and walk along, you'll see like all the new buildings, but you're going to see more history. It gives you a bit more kind of a gritty, real feel. Okay, and if you carry on down this road, you can see the Shard. Again, I keep going on London Bridge, but it is a great place to start. I'm going to go back towards London Bridge and Borough Market that way. All right, take care. If you like, please subscribe, please follow, and speak soon about something else that interests me. Okay, and I hope it interests you too. All right, take care. Bye.